Speaking of Collision, real quick, have you caught up with the show? Have you been watching it? And if so, what have your thoughts been? The ratings haven't reflected it, but it's honestly probably my favorite show of any of the major ones, every WWE one and AEW every week, just as far as the formatting, the stars they showcase, the matches, giving things a little bit more time to breathe. Like this Dynamite had more time to breathe with certain stuff, which I enjoyed. I think adapting that Collision...
Yeah, what I've seen, I thought it's been pretty good.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a ton. I mean, the ratings don't...
They don't reflect. Do you think they'll improve?
Shocks anything? I mean, just the night alone. I think what people have said, which I think is a better reflection, is like, the number's not going to be that high. Saturday nights. You're not going to get the number. I think if specifically for that show, it should just be like where they start, where they're in the middle, and where they end, which they've been pretty consistent. I mean, if you start with 550,000 people and you end around there or pretty close, I mean, that's a good start. Like Dynamite usually starts at like 900,000. You get down to 700. Like you're losing 20% of your audience. If they're starting with a low number but are keeping it, I mean, it's clearly showing the people that are watching are engaged, are interested. So I think with a show, especially with that time slot, I think you have to look more at who's staying than how the actual figure is, because especially when it gets to football season, that number's going to plummet.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good way of looking at it. I mean, it's airing on Saturdays right now, and that's a good sign that they're not losing viewers from the beginning of the show to the end of the show. But I guess, like you said, it's not a great time slot. We said that when they announced the show a few months ago. From Saturday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Is that the ceiling, you think, for Rampage? Do you think they will ever... Regardless of what they put on the show, I mean, they did Punk and Joe and they still pulled in like 550,000 viewers. And that was a night where there was no WWE pay-per-view. I don't know what was going on last Saturday as far as sports go, but it didn't sound like they had a whole lot of competition. And they didn't pull in probably nearly as many viewers as they wanted to.
No, yeah, if it was up to me, you'd swap the shows and put Collision on Wednesday and Dynamite on Saturday at this point, but I mean, that's obviously not going to happen. Or the style of the show, I feel like, like you said, the show just feels more like, I don't know if I say old school wrestling, but I feel like there's more attention to detail. They flesh things out longer. I feel like week by week things matter and they kind of build. I mean, that style clearly has worked for them, but like I said, they also have different talent. It's kind of a mess on that aspect. But for what they've done, I thought it's been a pretty good show, honestly.
Yeah, no, I think they formatted it well, and you're seeing the same stars every week, which is a positive because they're getting consistent television time. They don't show up one week and then disappear the next. So hopefully they can include more talent in that conversation at some point, in that group of talent they have to work with on Saturdays. But I've enjoyed the show. You mentioned the old school feel. I would agree with that. I mean, especially when they have the shows open with those promos backstage. I wasn't around back then, but the old Saturday night WWF show, Saturday Night's Main Event, open with that sort of stuff from like back in the day. We don't typically see that in wrestling. WWE has done it on rare occasions in recent years, but not consistently. Collision has been every week now, which is pretty cool. Makes the matches matter more, and I don't know. I like the show. I haven't been able to catch it live in weeks, but since it probably first premiered, but I enjoy the show more than Dynamite, and hopefully they can keep it up going forward despite the lackluster ratings.